my Gill, State of Corruption. I want you to watch this video, but please don't miss the importance. It's only a few minutes, but I am telling you we have the corrupt, and they know we have them. I'm leaving from here to go to Washington to meet with the Department of Justice on Wednesday evening, and then to continue to stay in Washington until they accept this evidence and we have an investigation and we break open corruption across this country. Let me understand. What you're going to see is an orchestration. Bill Shaheen and Steve Gordon are the attorneys who protect the drug cartel. Now, I have been fighting this corruption with Shaheen and Gordon, along with Walker, for years. And you know what they did? They own your paralegals. They extort your attorneys. They extort people inside your company. Now that evidence Tucker has. So the drug dealers, the cartel, had a problem. They knew if I brought this evidence in, they'd all go to jail. So it's always been about squashing evidence. But now it's about what we found. Eileen Landy, the paralegal, just before she turned, she sent in subpoenas. Now these subpoenas we didn't know existed. I was told they didn't. As it turns out, they did. Judge Delker got these subpoenas. The clerk of court stamped it. You see, the corruption is working with the clerk of courts and the sheriff. So I had 9 subpoenas, one of which was from Judge Wedgeling, who's a judge in Brentwood. You remember? Anderson, Delker, LaFrancois, the 4th judge is Wedgeling. Wedgeling was the prosecutor of Aganos. You know those 5 state troopers, Hanbrook, Stewart, they were all received subpoenas. They were coming in as witnesses. That's why Delker had to disappear. And that's why he took on Walker, and they froze my accounts. Because they know they got caught cheating. They know they buried these subpoenas. That's why Tucker got the case. But more than that, see, once they turned around and had that, they had to violate me out of the case. How do you suppress all these witnesses and evidence that clearly will put you in jail? Let's not forget, I'm saying they're drug dealers and murderers. If I win in civil court, don't they go to jail? Didn't we just prove to you that that's what they are? Now, what I'm proving to you is the corruption in the courtroom and the control of Shaheen and Gordon. And Shaheen gets his power from Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Check it. Right? Campaign manager, biggest fundraiser, superdelegate. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the power. So we've exposed that. Let's go on how to catch him with the paralegal. When I caught Eileen, that was in January. At the same time, Aaron had just got caught before that. You see? They had to get out. But now, they couldn't send me notices to Eileen and Kerry Lemieux before her. But she knew because she was the ad man. And you see this? This came out in Judge Tucker's courtroom. We got it a half hour before court. They couldn't have a chance to go back. That's the IT company saying, Brian Toomey, Kerry Lemieux, and Eileen Landy were your administrators on your account. They were intercepting it and they knew it. Now don't miss this. This is why every time we went to pull that log, Tucker had volume 1 through 6. Repeatedly. Couldn't see it. Remember? Redacted. Well, this was one too. A slip. Written. Handwritten on the side. Turns out it's our case. 9/11/17. That was summary judgment. They already knew we were getting the summary judgment. Oh, 25 hearing selection. You see, it was made in February 28th. Never sent to me. And Eileen was on the other end, so they know. The only way that these guys go free is if you violate me out of case. That's why Eileen Landy, when we turned around and caught her, then we got Delker. It was Leanne Peters, okay? This is a woman who worked for Maureen O'Neill, who was the clerk of courts, who I said was screwing all this up. She came to me and go, you're right, Mike. They're doing this to you. Delker's protecting those drug dealers. And they're violating you out of these cases. And here she is. On her resume, it says that she's the assistant for Maureen O'Neill. Now, she's a witness. The admin, they were stealing it. We've got a witness and clerk of court. They're doing it. We've got subpoenas that they suppressed. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You see this little clip? We're going to turn around and go to Washington. I need you to go with me. I need you to go wherever I go. And let's hope we get there. Because if we do, we'll put them in jail. And they know it. Mike Gill, State of Corruption.
Go with what the statute says.
We'll stay with the statute, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gill?
I'm not picking any jurors.
All right. I have a preliminary statement. I left it on the table before the hearing started that I intend to read to the veneer. Does anyone have an objection to what's in that statement?
I can't hear you.
Have you seen the preliminary statement that I left on your table?
Oh, you mean like 15 seconds ago that I saw it?
Have you had,
Your Honor?
Mr. Gill, have you had a chance to read it? If you have,
No.
all right, then read it right now. Go ahead.
It's not going to matter, Your Honor. I'm putting on the record that this is a criminal enterprise that you're trying to rush through. I have witnesses at the paralegals. I have witnesses with the clerks of courts. This is an orchestration, which is why I'm not allowed to have a witness, which is why I'm not allowed to have evidence, which is why I'm not allowed to have exhibits. I tell you what I did find from the clerk of courts. They sent me subpoenas. Subpoenas that I never thought was entered or delivered. On the 5 state troopers, well, I have them, Your Honor. Every time we went to look for the file to find them, potentially, you had it. 1 through 6 volume. So I am telling you, Judge Delker got off the case because they took the subpoenas of Judge Wedgeland, who was the prosecutor of Abenos. Each and every one of those 5 state troopers. Now that was squashed. And this hearing, for the 11th and the 25th, I was never given notice. But it was written inside, not sent, but on the log, with a question mark. Now this is all evidence. I have a meeting with the Department of Justice on Wednesday. And I'm going to make that meeting, and I'm bringing this evidence. And you're going to have to explain that you have 3 of my lawyers fearful of their lives. We have a hitman that was hired by the plaintiffs. Wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. We're not getting into this.
Well, no, we are. This is critical, Your Honor.
If you want to read the preliminary statement now, you have time to
I am leaving a preliminary statement. I will send it to the court, and I'm leaving now. You can find me guilty, Your Honor, and I will appeal this case, and I'm going to Washington and put everyone in jail. No question. Shaheen's playing this rope dope with me, with the paralegals.
Are you going to stay or are you going to leave?
I'm making a statement.
No, I don't want a statement. Are you going to
I'm giving you a statement, Your Honor. It's my right for a statement.
No, I'm in charge of the courtroom, not you. You either sit down and read the preliminary statement and stay, or you leave. It's your choice.
I'm going to file this preliminary statement. I'm going to send it out nationally, and I'm going to post the evidence. Wheels are a little bad, but I'm going to the Department of Justice and report this. Shaheen's been doing this for years to me. I have the paralegals. I have the witnesses.
Either stay or leave. It's your choice.
Let's go, guys. You got all that? Good.